What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the We Want Florida podcast. I'm Nathan Bray here with Joe Damer and Austin Wiseman. Game 4 just concluded. Heartbreaker, another overtime game. 5-4 final score. Series is tied 2-2. Going back to Edmonton, tied. Give me your thoughts. How are we feeling?
Personally, I feel like a Dolphins player should never drum on the drum ever again. No, but on a serious note, gotta hold the lead. You just have to. I thought we played good in overtime. I think I mean, obviously the second and third period weren't fantastic. But overtime, I thought we really turned it around, had a lot of good chances. The Sam Bennett chance was obviously great. Pickard made a brilliant save, but yeah, I mean, whatever. Heartbreaker.
Yeah, I mean, Florida Panthers, it's uncharacteristic from them to blow a lead like that. And, it's unfortunate. Just saw some plays that we don't usually see from some guys and just like bad penalties in the second period leading to it. But credit to Edmonton for coming back and putting in Pickard, putting him in the game, clearly turned it around, changed the whole game, and maybe could change the whole series with that move.
Yeah, Joe, you said a Dolphins player should never bang the drum again. I think Taylor Swift should never go to another game again.
Yeah, I
That's
agree.
that's
I
my
don't think
take.
she will though. I think it's over for that.
So we got a goal with seconds left to send it to overtime. We had talked about closing games, um, giving up a goal with 10 seconds, 17 seconds in game 1 and 2. We got ours with 19 seconds. Obviously, heartbreaking loss, but does that goal give us a little bit of a positive energy, even though that we lost this game, just to get the game to overtime? Or does blowing the 3-0 lead kind of negate that?
I mean, I think I think just completely clear it, completely clear the slate. I mean, don't even think about it. You just go in the next game. Don't even, I mean, it's great because if you lost, clear the slate, clear your head. If you won, do the same because clearly they found something. I don't know if it's with Bob. I mean, their defense came alive. I mean, I mean, I saw more pucks, I swear, hit their defenders than Pickard at one point in the game. It was unreal display from their defense. But yeah, I just say wipe it clean.
Yeah, I mean, a loss is a loss. It doesn't really matter if we lost 4-3 or 5-4 in overtime. Um, like the final result was a loss and a game we led 3-0. Disappointing. It's unfortunate, but we've seen the Panthers rebound so many times over the last even like 4 or 5 years and games that they've played, and we've seen Paul Maurice and the culture in the locker room. They figure it out. That look, we were down 3-0 last year, or we were up 3-0 last year, went 3-3. They rebounded from that and won game 7. So we're gonna have to do something similar after that tough loss. But they'll rebound. They always do.
Yeah, it looked like a game that really could have gotten out of hand. We saw a 3-0 lead early and then ended up a game that could have gone either way at the end. I mean, the game winning goal was kind of an unfortunate bounce off Nico Mikkola, but still, when you're in the Stanley Cup Finals, just put the puck towards net, shoot, put it somewhere in the vicinity, and Leon Draisaitl did it, and it went in. Edmonton came out very fast in the first few minutes. When we scored that first goal, and obviously we scored the first three, but when we scored the first goal, we kind of saw Edmonton's pace of play deflate a little bit. So just give me your thoughts on the overall pace of play in the first period in general, just to kind of set the tone, because we said that Edmonton had the rebound, they had to come out fast. So just give me your overall thoughts on that first period pace of play.
Yeah, my key to the game was defend the first period push from Edmonton. Those like first two shots of the game, one from McDavid was they were high energy. Like it was a high energy 2 minutes. They wanted to come out fast. They had to rebound after that game three performance, and they did. But the Panthers, they knew that they were going to come out fast, and the way they answered that was like unbelievable how they played in the first period. I mean, we were all over them for a good part of the period, scoring 3 goals, and that's it was a very important part to that game. And on most nights, we would have closed the job with that great performance, but we didn't get it done. But I thought we were good in the first period.
Despite, obviously being good in the first period, um, still a very, I mean, I know we've said very uncharacteristic game from the Panthers, but we had um one 5-on-5 goal, right? And then two power play goals and one with the extra attacker from the empty net, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
So, I mean, they stopped getting in the box and we didn't have an answer for it. So our 5-on-5 play wasn't what it normally is. I mean, we don't usually have to rely on our power play. Um, but I guess this game 5-on-5 just didn't have it.
Yeah,
yeah.
and that
On
was
what?
one of our
Yeah,
keys to the series was staying 5-on-5.
yeah. I mean, I didn't expect special teams to affect this series how it has, but I think in today's game was literally like the reason why it went one way and then switched to Edmonton's way was because of just being in the box and special teams. Like they had 3 penalties in the first period. We scored on two. We had 2 power play goals, Kachuk, and then we're up 3-0, and then we had some terrible penalties that you can't have when you're up 3-0 and then 3-1, and then a play with with a delay of game call. Just it was uncharacteristic, and we can't. I didn't expect the series to come down to special teams, but today it did.
Yeah. So we saw Jeff Skinner and Troy Stetcher in tonight for Edmonton. So two parts. Part one, two parts to this question. Was this strictly a move to try to shake up the team? And follow up to that, is this going to be the lines that we see in the rest of the series from Edmonton, or are they going to go back to the lines from games one, two, and three?
I think they'll stick with it because they won the game, but I think did it like initially they just wanted to change some things up from how bad their performance was in game three, and they took out Victor Arvidsson, who had a really bad penalty in that game. But I don't think Troy Stetcher was that good tonight. Like Verhage forechecked him, like made him look stupid. Got the pass to Lundell in the front. So I could see some changes, but I think for now they'll keep it. And they just wanted a spark, new energy. Same thing with changing Pickard for Skinner, which is just like creates a spark, and that's what they got.
Yeah, I mean, despite, you know, the first period, I feel like the Oilers, were the better team tonight. So why not? Why not stick with it? I mean, besides the chances we had in overtime, which they ended up winning anyways, so it doesn't even matter. Um, yeah, I think they just they just ran us over in the second and third period, and yeah, I wouldn't change a thing if I was their coach. That's how I would stay.
So we saw Calvin Pickard come in again on a Stuart Skinner poll. They haven't gone to him for the start. Is game five the game that Calvin Pickard starts?
I mean, 100%. There's literally zero chance it's not. I think from the way he played in that game, they won, changed their changed everything. Right when he got in the game, uh, they outscored us 4-1 ever since he got into the game. So there's no chance that we see Stuart Skinner and probably won't see him for the rest of the series. Honestly, to me, I think it's gonna be Pickard, and that's how it is. It's one goalie. He gets hot when you see him cool off. You take him out, and that's just they got to ride the hot hand right now. It's Pickard.
Yeah, I mean, I was just about to say the same thing, but I was about to label it as a hot take, but I guess it's not. I don't think we see Skinner for the rest of the series. Um, and you know, let's not forget that, you know, Pickard 6-0, whatever. We already discussed that in, episode one, but um he got injured. So, I mean, they put Skinner back in, but I don't. were they going to anyways? I don't know. Did they ever come out and say, "Oh, well, Skinner got in because Pickard was injured," or did they were just like, "Okay, this is our guy. We're gonna ride with Skinner. He's the younger. He's our main goalie, whatever." I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I think honestly, if Pickard didn't get injured, he'd be in. He. I don't think we would have seen Skinner at all.
Yeah.
So I guess my take is going to be the hot take.
Oh,
I think Calvin Pickard starts game 5. I think at some point in this series, Stuart Skinner's back in net. I,
Well, that would be good for us. I
yeah, I think
mean,
that would be
that would
great.
just mean that would mean we light them up again. So
yeah, I think that obviously it's going to depend on how game 5 goes, but I think to say that there's no chance Stuart Skinner comes back, I completely
yeah, I wouldn't say no
agree
chance.
with that.
I wasn't saying no chance, but I think there was no chance that he plays in game five. Like unless we score 4 goals, 5 goals early, but it's gonna be Calvin Pickard. They're gonna ride him right now.
Yeah.
Pause.
All right. I guess we'll see. We'll see how game 5 goes in the goaltending, but yeah, I would say Calvin Pickard starts, and we'll see if we see Stuart Skinner again. So Jake Wellman goal got a little
Bro.
payback, I guess. We saw Ryan Nugent Hopkins in on the scoring. Obviously, Draisaitl with the game-winning goal, 3-point night. So, from an offensive standpoint, we've touched on it briefly, but how good compared to the previous games was Edmonton on offense tonight?
Well, um, seemed like a bigger picture tonight. Seemed like they got some guys going that, obviously Wallman, I mean, he wanted that goal more than anybody in the world tonight. I mean, he woke up thinking about it this morning. He's like, how am I going to get this done? And Darnell Nurse, same thing. I mean, he showed his emotion, had his choice of words towards the fans. I saw that one. But yeah, I mean, it's what we expected though, right? Because like, obviously, I I mean, we said that, okay, Panthers in 6, Panthers in 7, right? It's like we know they're going to put up a fight, right? And especially after last game, we expected these players like Nurse and Wallman to come out firing, and they did. So, in a sense, we kind of fired them up and got their team, ready to go. And I hope that our team wakes up and responds the same way. And yeah,
Yeah, I mean, for them, it's just you're in the Stanley Cup final and your season's on the line. You're down 3-0. If you go down 3-1 in the series, you're in trouble. And they just made some big plays. And Ryan Nugent Hopkins is to start the scoring for them. Absolute snipe, top shelf. Same thing with Nurse. Those are just 2 really good shots. Then on Colson's goal, just another really good shot, backhanded past Bobrovsky, and then Wallman with an absolute blast to beat Bob again. And then they got some lucky bounces and with that Draisaitl goal in overtime. But offensively for them, just when you need to step up in big moment, that's what they did it. And this is hell of a series and good job by them.
So, we said that we needed our big guys to step it up. We did see some more first line production tonight. We saw Reinhardt, obviously, with the goal, was 19 seconds left to send it to overtime. 2 assists, so a 3-point night. Barkov with 2 assists. We saw Kachuk with 2 goals and an assist. And then we saw Lundell with a goal. Obviously, Lundell's third line. But
Hmm.
let's go back to the first line. Reinhardt, Barkov, and then second line Kachuk. So we saw some big guys step up tonight. Um, Obviously didn't get the win. So if our first line plays this way the rest of the series, I'm going to say that the games don't end the same way they ended tonight. If we see this first line production, we are going to be fine.
yeah. I
Is
mean, I agree. I mean, yeah, everybody on the first line had a point today, right? I mean,
Yep. Multi.
Verhage had, yeah. So I mean, yeah, outstanding game from them. Like
Hmm.
I said though, I mean, it was yeah, yeah, they were all special teams, right? Because
Well, yeah, I guess, but
except because
Reinhardt,
Lundell. Oh well, Verhage got the assist for Lundell on the 5-on-5
yeah,
goal. But yeah, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. I mean, I don't know. It's just so hard to go off this game because it's like, man, it's
haven't seen many games like this before from the Panthers. But look, this is one of the rare games where we didn't have scoring from the depth players, but our big players stepped up, and Kachuk 2 goals, 1 assist, Barkov 2 points, Reinhardt two points with a huge goal. Those top four we had them all the big four all had a point. Sam Bennett had 1 point, and Anton Lundell had the goal. So it's combining for four, 6 guys combining for 4 goals, yeah, or for points. And so it was a rare game. We didn't get it from the depth guys, but we will. And now that I feel like our big guys have entered the series and are playing well and are gonna get hot, we're in for a game 5 where it's gonna be special in Edmonton.
Yeah, so Joe got the Kachuk call on the goal, and two times two. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm on the board. I got a call. I'm happy.
good stuff, man.
Maybe I don't make any more calls. Maybe I take my one and run. No,
No,
I'm kidding. I
come on.
I, I got to go back to back now. You just went back to
Yeah,
back, so now I got to go back to back. But I'm on the board, so
yeah,
even if I
absolutely,
don't hit again, you know what? I called one.
absolutely.
I'll take it. Not.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
right.
Let's talk about the defense. We saw Gus Forsling put his skate to the post in overtime, which saved the goal early, but just not a big night from defense. So just your thoughts on the production.
Yeah.
I don't have much. I mean, not not a very good game.
Well, I think that this might be like the only game. What? I'm not gonna say that, but one of the only games for sure that we haven't had a point from a defenseman.
Mhm.
Which I mean, that's you know whatever. Other people are getting them. I guess we still scored 4 goals against the
Yeah.
Edmonton Oilers, but you know I- that was like the cool, that was the cool thing with the Panthers for a while. That's what we were riding. It was like, oh my God, look at all our defensemen scoring. Everybody scored. This is like amazing. This is awesome. This is why we're winning games because everybody has the ability to score. But not much from, no points from the defense today. So I expect a big game out of them next game for sure. We'll
Yeah.
get to we'll get to
I
goal
mean,
picks later though.
we were spoiled this whole postseason for how defensemen could score. And I mean, it's not something you see all the time, but the Panthers have just all 60 are playing really good and have been scoring a lot. We didn't get it this game, but it's not like it's crazy. Like it happens. It's hockey.
Yeah, not
Just
from an offensive standpoint, but from a defensive
defense. Yeah.
standpoint. Would you
Yeah. I
say
mean,
that they had a bad game, just an off game? What?
you give up 5 goals. It's and not it's part of it, but I think really you just got to give credit to Edmonton for how they
Yeah.
bounced back and battled back and to get back. They just made some really good shots and really good plays. Like those are shots that no goalie's gonna stop. What are you gonna really do as a defenseman? You're not blocking a shot that's going to the top shelf. So um it was unfortunate, but it was just a great battle from Edmonton.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily so much that the defense played terrible. I just think Edmonton played just a
Yeah.
step better than what they've been, and maybe the defense wasn't fully ready for it.
And you look at the Wallman goal. I mean, Barkov turns it over in the in the defensive zone. You're not going to see that. Like I've never seen that in my life. It feels like watching the Panthers, but that's not a defenseman issue. That's a forward making a turnover. So it's
Yeah,
just one of those games.
you have to clear the puck there. I
Yeah,
mean, it was what, 1-on-4? There was 4 Panthers in the offensive zone, and
just what a battle that was from Nugent Hopkins
I
to
mean,
keep that play alive, and
yeah,
great
that
job.
great play. It's got to be cleared though. That's
Yep.
bottom line. So we saw Sergei Bobrovsky make another highlight save on the power play in the third,
Hmm.
stretched out, robbed, I believe, Corey Perry of that goal. Just, I, I think some of those shots, again, we've talked about Edmonton and their offensive ability tonight. The goals that were given up, do you think Bob could have done anything different, or do you think it was just great shots, great execution by Edmonton? Not much Bob can do.
Yeah,
I think Bob played a great game, honestly. But bro, that Darnell Nurse goal, like, I don't think, honestly, I don't even think it might be a hot take. I don't think there's anybody in the league stopping that, bro. It was just perfectly placed, dude. I mean, it was perfect. So, like, Austin said, you just got to give credit. And it's not necessarily Bob played a bad game. I mean, even think of the OT goal. Like, it wasn't like,
Yeah, that wasn't a
something
Bob
like,
mistake.
right. It's not. And then even what, the first goal was on a power play, correct? I think so. Which,
yeah.
I mean, that doesn't totally mean it's not Bob's fault if it's on a power play, but dude, I mean, he's already, you get what I'm trying to say here. I don't think it was a bad
Well,
Bob game.
it got back to more of game one and two, and there's a lot on the ice there compared to game three, where I feel like Edmonton didn't have a lot of chances. But look, it just like we've said, like just credit to Edmonton for how they played offensively. It wasn't Bob, it wasn't the defense. It was more just bat three penalties in the second period that can't happen, and that that power play goal led to the momentum. And when you have three penalties, you're not trying to get a fourth, so you're playing a little less
Cautious.
aggressive in the zone, and we didn't clear the puck good enough. So it was more penalties and not clearing the puck more than just like simply like Bob or defense not being in the right spot.
So does Bob have to make this save on the Jake Wallman goal?
I mean, we've seen him make a million saves that's bailed us out of big situations. I thought he could have tried to get over to the shot a little more, but it's another really good shot. Just one timer blast right over the glove or under the glove, whatever it was. Just happens. But from what we did was we bounced back and we answered Reinhardt late in the game. So it's
We saw a good fight for sure.
yeah.
But Joe, do you think Bob has to make that save?
Um, you know, I don't think. I mean, it's not a have to, right? I mean, like Austin said, it's I was actually okay, so I was actually looking something up. Right. So that slap shot that Jake Wallman had, like one time or whatever. Bro, 97, dude. 97 miles per hour. Like it's not a give me, right? It's not like Bob's just gonna slide over there and go, oh, let me get my glove on it, bro. Like it's definitely still a tough, you know, it's a tough shot to save, but so
We've seen
I
him make the saves though.
yeah,
So
of course, but we've seen him make miraculous saves. I mean, it's not I don't think it's one of those that's like, you know, through the five hole and you're sitting there going, how did that happen? So I don't think he has to make it. No, I think you know, it's fine. He picks us up in other ways.
all right. So we saw Matthew Kachuk with 2 goals. Um, he has 18 points through this postseason, 5 goals, 13 assists. Do we think, and he wasn't mentioned last episode when we talked about Conn Smythe, does Matthew Kachuk enter the Conn Smythe conversation after tonight?
Well, I think uh, like honestly I think now he has 21 points, which takes the team lead for he has now 7 goals, 14 assists. But
Yeah, that
well,
must be
Bennett had a
close.
point also, so both have 21 points. So yeah, when they have the same amount of points, I mean, I think he does enter the conversation. It's not really on my mind right now though, but I just gotta give Matthew Kachuk for all the type of player he is, what he did in the Four Nations, how awesome that was, and what he's meant to this franchise and him coming back from injury and for what he's done. Obviously, he's not been the same goal scorer we've seen him, but he's playing good hockey and he's battling and he's a leader in that on that team. So just want to give credit to him for how he's battled back and performed this playoffs and what a game he had tonight. As far as the Conn Smythe, yeah, sure, he enters the conversation. but not really that important right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. We're not. That's not our main focus, but I still think Bennett has got him. He's been
Yeah,
a little
Sure.
more clutch, but
Yeah,
um, winning this thing is more important right now.
hmm
of course.
I didn't get to go to the parade last year, so I want to go to the parade this year.
yeah,
I know you
That was
guys had
fun.
fun down there in the rain, so
Yeah,
that's what's on my mind. I'm ready to celebrate and party a little bit. I
yep.
don't want to be upset.
of course, dude.
All right, let's go. Game 5. This is going to be, in my opinion, even the biggest game of this series so far. 2-2
Right.
sets the
Absolutely.
tone. This could set the tone for the rest of the series if we see
Mm.
another game like Game 3. So give me Game 5 predictions, key to wins, and let's go with a goal score.
Yeah. Complete reset. The series is 0-0. It's best of three. What are you gonna bring? We're on the road, but we're road warriors. We've seen the Cats have some big road wins, and there's no bigger game. There was a 2-2 game 5 against the Leafs, and you saw what happened. We won 6-1. So, it's a best 2 out of 3 now, and you got keys to the game. And I think it's just look, I didn't expect special teams to affect this game. We cannot let it affect the next game. We got to make sure we got to be more disciplined, but we also got to stay aggressive when we're up. We're up 3-0. I don't want to, you don't want to become that defensive team. Stay aggressive, still try to get the next one. So staying strong, staying hard on the forecheck, being the more aggressive team in game 5 in a tough building. Key to the game is starting strong, getting the first goal to kind of silence that crowd, take the crowd out of the game early. So as far as the goal scorer, I've been going off the board or with the defensive guys. It hasn't worked out with me. Mikula, I don't know what I was thinking there. I was taking a
Hey,
shot.
it was worth a try.
Yeah, why
Why
not?
not?
Forsling, it was his birthday today. I kind of felt like he was gonna get one. He missed a shot in overtime. That was a great shot. It
Yeah.
just missed. Puck was on edge.
Yep.
I gotta go with a guy that's, you know, big games, goal scorer. You know who it is in big games. It's Carter Verhaeghe. So I gotta go more chalk here. I
Sure.
haven't been going chalk, so I'm going with Verhaeghe. Let's try to get game 5 here.
Yeah, no, I think yeah, it's absolutely a pivotal moment for sure. I think we are gonna play. I mean, keys to the game. We're gonna play great 5-on-5 hockey next game. I feel it. We're gonna get back to doing what the Panthers do. Um, and I think if sometimes it's inevitable. Accidents happen. They go in the box, whatever. We need our penalty kill to be there again. We need them to be like we know they can be. I'm gonna ride the defensive wave though. Um, yeah, I think Aaron Ekblad is gonna be my pick, and I'm gonna go. I think we've been waiting on it, the low scoring game, and I'm going really low scoring. I'm gonna go 2-1. I think we come on top. Yeah, and I think this is gonna be definitely a difference maker in the series.
Yeah, so I think Paul Maurice chews him up. I think that he gets on him about 3-0 leads and how we can't blow those. So I think Paul Maurice chews him up. I think if we come out and, like Austin said, score first, if we score first, if Pickard is the goalie and we get to Pickard early, that's going to be mentally tough for Edmonton to rebound just because maybe they're not feeling Skinner right now. And Skinner hasn't really proved that he should be there necessarily. I mean, he's had some good saves, but he's given up a lot of weak goals, given up a lot of not so weak goals. But if we can get to Calvin Pickard, if that's a starter, that's going to be mentally tough for Edmonton to rebound from. So I'm going to agree with you on getting the first goal. I'm going to go to first liner, keep it short and sweet. We know why for all the right reasons. Alexander Barkov, that's going to be my goal scorer. And I'm going to go 3-2 game. I mean, we've kind of been in that range. I think it's a little lower than what we've seen. I went 2-1, wasn't even close.
Yeah.
But
I'm going
Cool.
2-1
Yeah.
now.
We'll give it a try.
Also, do you
Yeah.
give a score? I don't remember.
I didn't give a score, but I think it's just going to be another battle, another 1-goal game. So I'll say 3-2. But
Yeah.
Agreeing with me, huh? How about
yeah,
that?
I it's a common score in the sport. So
Yeah, why not?
before we wrap it up, just want to say we're going into game 5. Both of these captains, Connor McDavid and Alexander Barkov, no goals yet in this series. Not that we know Connor McDavid who he is. I want to see Alexander Barkov match his play in game 5 and have a legacy moment as our captain. I thought he was really good offensively in game 4. So I want to see him lock down Connor McDavid and
Yeah, baby.
not
So,
having the last change will hurt that chance, but man, we've done a good job of McDavid these last 2 games, so let's hope we keep it up with Barkov and
so you're saying you want me to be right, huh? You're pulling for me.
yeah.
I appreciate it.
I
I
want
really
everybody
do.
to be right. I mean, if we can get if we can get the whole team to score and we meet up on the next podcast and it's like high fives everywhere. Okay, yeah, great. Everybody,
Hey, you guys are spot on in game 4, so
I appreciate the support.
another overtime game. We got to mention that. Come on.
Yeah, you said a few. I guess 3's a few. So
I
Yeah.
mean,
I
can we
guess
get
you
them
were
all
right
out of
on.
the way before like a game 7 or something? Like, please, because if it goes into game 7 and it's an overtime, I'm actually gonna like
Shit,
I
I'm gonna
don't know.
crash out. Yeah,
Oh,
let's
dude.
not go there.
It's been an
Why don't
epic
we end it in
series.
6? Why don't we end it in 6? Let's
Yeah,
do it.
but hopefully not in overtime.
Hold up. Let's take care of game 5 first. One
Yeah,
game at
I
a time,
agree.
boys.
Yeah,
One game at a time.
Yeah,
Best 2 out of 3 here.
let's
we
do
jumped
it.
the gun. I think
Let's
we
do it.
can.
The
Big rebound game.
Leaf series, we won game 5 on the road. We lost game 6 at home. We won game 7 on the road.
You know what road team we are. Let's
We
go.
got to take care of business here.
Let's do
Game
it.
5 Saturday, short turnaround, so that's going to be big. Not a lot of rest, not as much from game 3 to game 4, but I think we come out ready. I think we come out firing. Hopefully, we get to Pickard. We will see who gets that starting call. So be on the lookout for that.
Alvin Pickard.
Absolutely.
That's who the We Want Florida podcast is going with, Calvin Pickard.
That's who
I think
I think that the world's going
Yeah,
with
the
that,
world's
but
going with it.
All right, we need a big game. I think we can do it.
Let's do
For
it.
Austin Wiseman, Joe Damer, I'm Nathan Bray. Let's go Cats.
Let's go Cats, baby.